our slides, or are we going to go through them directly?
Excuse me?
About the presentation, about the pitch. Are you going to go through our slides? No,
yeah,
we
please do that yourself. Yes, because so that it's more convenient for you as well. Perfect.
Perfect.
So thank you so much, everyone. And welcome to the Entrepreneurship Sports Generation, ESG for short. And these are the ESG 2021 finals in Italy. And we are really delighted to have you all with us today. And thank you so much for your time. We are having a very exciting leg of the tournament planned for today. And let us first start by giving the word to our national organizers and partners for today's event. A warm welcome to Marissa and Stefano. Over to you.
Thank you, Ekaterina. So Marisa and I are gonna take a few minutes of our time together just to create a little bit of context, because the idea to partner with ESG comes from us being co-chairs of a global movement that was started last year. So we want to share a bit of information about that, and that hopefully will give you also a better understanding on how we got here and how what we do is linked with ESG. So Marisa and I are still, for the rest of this year, the co-chairs of a global movement which is called Values 20. Values 20, V20 in short, as you can see on the screen, is a community of, can we go back to the previous slide still? And then Marisa will tell us about VE cubed. So Value 20 is a community of values experts and practitioners from all over the world who seek to actively engage with the group of 20 countries. So we all know the G20, and maybe we are not fully aware of what they do, but as you may know, in the last few days, on October 31st, there was the G20 Summit last week. So the V20 was launched in 2020 in Saudi Arabia, and the purpose was to add depth to the understanding of values in public policy. So this is what we talk about when we engage with the G20 people, and to promote values-based institutional decisions. We came together for the first time last year to highlight the notion that values are principles or standards of behaviors. We can also say that it's one's judgment of what is important in life, and that they should inform and inspire all aspects of human activities, the civil, political, economic, social, and cultural level, and assist us to determine what is important at the individual and collective level. So values, in other words, is really a very strong driver of decisions and actions and behaviors, and pretty much everything we do in our lives. As we know, of course, 2021 was a very challenging year. The priorities for the G20 this year have been people, planet, and prosperity. So those are the three key words that the G20 countries have been trying to work and debate in order to come with possible solutions. And accordingly, as V20, we gather with our experts, and we developed recommendations for the G20 inspired by specifically three values, which were integrity, solidarity, and sharing, in service, of course, of the G20 priorities. So in 2020, when the movement started in Saudi Arabia, our strong focus was to bring to the attention of the institutions and the broader public the value of values. So value of values was our slogan. And we managed to get endorsements and acknowledgements from the G20 Saudi Arabia presidency last year, and we continue this year. But our slogan changed from the values of values to values in action. Because especially for Marisa and I, as co-chairs of V20 this year, was very, very important to demonstrate that values is not just something let's say, foggy or theoretical, but something that can really be pragmatic and actionable. So that was the purpose. And the idea was also to demonstrate how, through the work that we did as a B20 this year, there is an opportunity to turn the crisis into opportunities, and especially ensure that no one is left behind. Above all, we wanted to make sure that decision makers progressively and comprehensively revise their merits and methods of their work and take into account values more and more moving forward. So that was a bit of an introduction about B20. Of course, Marisa and I have other jobs and other professions as well, but we really invested a lot of our time this year under, let's say, the title of co-chairs of this movement. And Marisa, I leave it to you to describe how Values in Action is being taken to the next step for us.
Thank you, Stefano. Hi, everyone. Ciao a tutti. You are actually a very, very important part of this Values in Action coming into action. Okay, so during the summit that was held on October 15th in Rome, Stefano and I actually launched the so-called Values E Cubed. And the idea is that this is a movement for values in action. So it's a global values-driven accelerator of initiatives focused on entrepreneurship, employment, and education. Now, no doubt in our experience, especially this year, that became a certainty that these are the three of the most needed areas of attention in each country in the world. So these are very common priorities. As we will see in a while, as researched by the ESG initiative, there are 50 million people at risk of poverty due to COVID-19 worldwide. 800 million jobs lost by 2030, and there were 3.5 trillion US dollars global labor income losses in 2020. Now, as we tackle the UN SDGs, job creation will remain one of the world's biggest challenges, with the need to create over 1 billion jobs over the next decade. Research also shows that entrepreneurs create jobs at twice the rate of established companies, and that 97% of jobs in emerging markets are contributed by small and mid-sized enterprises. So that's you, basically. With Values E Cubed, what we want to do is to have this as a main hub for values-driven entrepreneurs who see how education and employment can be central in addressing some of the main unaddressed global challenges. The first initiative we are endorsing is the Entrepreneurship Sport Generation, ESG, and this is why we're here today. So Stefano and I are very, very happy to launch this first Italian edition of ESG, which we trust will be the first one of a long and successful series of editions in the coming years. So we're very honored to be part of the ESG initiative. Now, our heartfelt thank you to Mr. Shiva Khemka, who is the chairman of the TGEF, I'm never able to say it properly, foundation, which is behind ESG, and who is also a founding member of B20. Thank you to all the ESG wonderful team. A representation of them is here with us today, and they will guide us through the finals. Last but not least, a big thank you also to our judges who have joined us enthusiastically, despite our invitation came rather late, and we know that your agendas are very, very full. Now, all the very best and good luck to all of you startups present today, and thank you so much for taking part to this important initiative. Thank you, good luck. And Katrina, on to you.
Thank you so much, Marisa and Stefano. It's really, really amazing to have you with us, and it's an honor and a pleasure for us to be working and collaborating with you this year. Now over to ESG and a tiny bit more about what ESG is. And if we could also have some video arrangements as well. So over the next decade, we actually need to create, as Marissa rightly pointed out, over 1 billion new jobs. And also we need to ensure that we leave a better planet for the further generations, which is also highlighted by the 17 UN SDGs. And we definitely believe that entrepreneurial initiative and entrepreneurial initiatives and startups are the solution for these pressing issues. The ESG community, which is all of us and all of you included, will help the startups and entrepreneurs grow and become global enterprises, creating the better future for us that we are actually aspire for, in line with these 17 UN SDGs. So ESG is a flagship initiative of ours. It is a flagship initiative of the Global Education and Leadership Foundation, which is TGAL for short. TGAL has always been working for actually over a decade to groom ethical and altruistic leadership around the world. Throughout our entrepreneurship initiatives in the past several years, we have impacted more than 500,000 startups globally. And for us at TGAL, supporting entrepreneurship and innovation has always been one of the core areas of operation. We have raised and made available over $7.5 billion for startups and organizations that support startups around the world. And for the ESG, we have also put together a rewards basket that is available for participants. And obviously similar to international sporting leagues, since we are the entrepreneurship sports generation, the ESG tournament has 4 tiers that include City, National, Confederation, Global Finals. So currently we all are in the stage of the national finals in Italy, and we are extremely excited about that. So we're also excited to say that the winning 2 enterprises today will proceed to the Confederation finals in Europe and will be representing Italy at this finals event. So the winners of today will actually be selected today itself. So please stay tuned and you'll know the results today itself. We definitely express our gratitude to our partners this year who have joined hands with us. And we are really, really committing to collectively supporting entrepreneurship and innovation. So let's join the movement, let's build back better, and let's make the entrepreneurship a new heartbeat for the world. And today, we have 3 jury members with us who are experts in their fields, and it's a great pleasure to introduce them. So first, we have Emanuele. Emanuele is the Chief Operating Officer at Focus Management. And Focus Management is a strategic consulting company that focuses on marketing, go-to-market, channel management, innovation, and trust. Next, we also have Stefano. Stefano is Managing Director at the global at Startup Bootcamp Global Fashion Tech, this is fashion innovation catalyst in the world, fashion technology, and Stefano is currently leading the Startup Bootcamp Fashion Tech, which is one of the top global startup and corporate accelerators. With 15 years of extensive experience in the fashion and luxury industry, Stefano is a digital entrepreneur who is committed to open innovation in order to build an improved ecosystem. And last but not least, today with us, we also have Kirti, who is Vice President for New Technologies at Sun Group. Kirti has started as an engineer in R&D and focused in startups, and moved into the technocrat roles, working with the Office of the Prime Minister of India on multilateral governmental efforts and industry bodies. Kirti is also a co-author of the ebook Promoting Innovation in Clusters. So thank you very much to our jury members for your time. And we are really, really excited to hear your insights and your expert advice. Now, moving on a tiny bit further to reminding you about today's format of the competition and like the last final guidelines. So you will have 3 minutes for your pitch and another 3 minutes for the question and answer session. And you yourself will be controlling your presentation in order for you to be going at a pace which would be convenient for yourself. There is only one representative per company that should be presenting and responding to the questions. And we also request you to keep a camera on when you are presenting. And we will be also requesting you to mute yourself when you're not speaking in order to avoid any potential disturbance. So with that, we are really, really excited to begin. We would like to start with our pitches for today's session. So the first representative that we would like to welcome is My Money.
Yeah.
So, requesting team My Money. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Mara. Requesting you to start screen sharing.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So when you're ready, your time starts now.
Yeah, okay. Hello, my name is Mara. I'm the founder and CEO of My Money. My Money is a patented payment system based on pure biometrics. Mobile payments market in Europe will increase 4 times in the next 4 years, and services providers are adapting by proposing new technologies to enable invisible payments, trying to solve existing problems. Because in current technologies, there are critical issues to be solved, the more important in terms of security. In 2019, fraudulent attacks cost the global economy $5 billion, according to the Digital Defense Report 2020 presented by Microsoft. It takes 6 seconds to clone a credit card and only 1 second to clone a contactless card. That's the reason why My Money will replace payments by card and telephone with payments by fingerprint. And doing this would be easy because all the smart POS producers are delivering now new smart POS with biometric readers. In fact, biometric payment systems are the most secure payment method in the market today. This, according to the European Directive on Digital Payments that has imposed new rules, including biometrics. Additionally, it's practical. It's a device-free payment. From now on, you will no longer have with you a credit card, cash, or the phone. Just reach your finger out and pay. But how does it work? It's simple. You download the app, register yourself, connect your credit, debit card, or bank account, and then register your fingerprint. Then you can go out and pay only with your finger. To date, the first movers on biometric payments are starting to appear on the market, but their solutions still have critical issues that don't make them usable in every situation. For example, facial recognition needs the right amount of lighting to work, it must process a lot of data, and cannot process many people quickly. So for places like the underground stadium, it's not usable. The unique selling point of My Money are that the fingerprint is a voluntary act, it must process little data, it guarantees greater privacy, and it's versatile because it's suitable for any type of use. To date, we have paid traction with partnership with Pax Italia, smart POS producer. We have developed a solution for Pax to deliver it to Poste Italiane, and with Skidata, we are delivering a solution for. Our business model will be initially a B2B2C with a 0.4% of the transaction, but it will become a B2C with a 0.7%. We will be live in January 2022 with client Poste and Skidata and cash flow positive within 24 months. Then we will scale up and apply for an IML license and roll out to other countries. We have a world-leading team. Myself, I follow the strategies and marketing, Luciano Serra, our CFO, Marco Rizzoli, technical product development, Daniel Balin, our advisor in London, Greta Clementi, our CEO, and Marco Crispino, full stack developer. My Money, the future of device-free payments. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mara. Perfect timing. And now over to the questions from our jury members.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, Mara. Many thanks for your presentation. I have a quick question for you. Considering the moment in the last years, we saw a lot of technologies that focus the attention on the contactless technology. And COVID pushed a lot the evolution of customers' behavior into avoiding touching devices in stores, in all the places where we can pay. There is the risk that COVID changed a little bit the behaviors of customers, making fingerprint a little bit anachronistic.
I don't think so, because we all hope that COVID will not remain with us forever, first of all. And in any case, you can, COVID is not taken by touching the things. You have to inhale it. And so every day you touch lots of things when you are in a shop or around. Also, when you have to pay an amount bigger than 50 euros, you have to put the code for paying. So I think that it's not really a problem. In my opinion, of course.
Many thanks.
You're welcome.
Mara, just quickly help me understand the security that you are putting in place for the entire solution, because the transaction is heavily dependent on that.
What do you mean, the solution?
So is it 32-bit security that you have, or beyond that? Because recently there have been multiple cases of mobile phones which are fingerprint access, which could easily be cracked. I'm just wondering what kind of security you have in place for this entire solution.
Yeah, we have two types of security. First, my software, because when you have to catch the fingertip, you will do it by the phone of the camera of the phone. Moving the phone, we will take a template in 3D that through our software will be transformed in an algorithm and sent to our server or bank server. It will depend, of course. But there is also a part of software that will give the certification that the fingerprint that you are taking, it's your fingerprint and it's not fingerprint of someone else.
Okay, understood.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions from our jury members?
Oh, one last question if you have the time, Katya.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. So how many partners have you signed up with today, and how many users have used your solution so far?
We will be live in January 2022 because we are now delivering the MVP to Poste Italiane. It's a big company in Italy, like Royal Mail in UK, and also with PAX. The partnership is, of course, and Ski Data, that is a world leader for ski park access, ski car park access, and so on, and also stadiums from this year.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Mara, for your presentation, and thanks to our jury members. Now over to our next participant, over to Smart Engineering. Danilo, please share screen.
Oh, do you hear me?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay.
So if you could just
I'm
start.
going to slideshow.
Wonderful. So once it loads.
Okay.
Yeah, just another second. Yes, perfect.
Okay.
So your time begins now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Danilo Vendola. I'm a computer science researcher, and here I'm for Smart Engineering, presenting our product, which is Olivier. It's a product that we are developing and will be presented in a few months. What is Olivier? It's a platform for a marketplace for about the e-commerce in agri-food, specialized into the olive oil and other kind of product relative to olive oil, but not only this kind of product, but manufacturing and homemade products that could be sold by small producer. Why e-commerce in food? This is a simple slide that show you exactly the market penetration of online. This slide talking about the data in 2019. The COVID improved a bit this market penetration, and then this is why we are investing, but we started before the COVID, of course. What is our mission? Our mission is to not only to sell products. We are not we don't sell directly products, but we provide services and computer science and other kind of services that could help the producer to reach an international audience, and providing them some services, logistics support, security, and providing to the consumer the best experience that we can. For the producer, it's important the visibility, having some consultant services, which is really important, especially for the small producer, and logistic, which is one of the most difficult step in delivering a product in the best way. For the consumer, of course, access to products, high quality products at the best price all around the world, and having a logistics, an efficient logistics from the side of the consumer, it's also one of our objective in the value proposition. Then together here, how to reach this objective? It's Olivier, in the Olivier process, the producer can works with us, leveraging on the consultant assistant, and then here is our presence on the market as a presence in terms of short chain and service provider. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Danilo. And now over to our jury with the questions.
Hi, Danilo, many thanks for your presentation. I have a question for you about similarities that I saw reading your slide. What are the differences between your solution and solutions such as eBay or Cortilia for the small producers?
Okay, Cortilia, for example, Cortilia, it's they are selling directly their products. We are something like similar to eBay, of course. One of the huge differences is that they are not in the covering the logistics, and this is something that we did. Our idea is to is more concentrated to be really near to the seller, because we work with really small producer, but high quality product. This means that we have to help the producer, especially because in the market, in the agri-food market, it's not like the technology in which is concentrated mainly eBay, in which the seller are really capable to use the most advanced technology for selling, and then it's more easily. With the agri-food, it is really important to provide quality services for marketing, for providing some nice picture of your products and this kind of stuff directly to the seller.
Okay, thank you. A quick question, Danilo. So what you just said means that you are in one form hyper local. Am I correct in making that assessment for agri produce?
Yeah, something like this. We are in a sense, we are a marketplace for producer of agri-food, But in this marketplace, we are not selling only the product in the direction or from the seller to the customer, but our objective is to sell services to the seller.
Sure.
Which is our main objective, yeah.
Correct. So I would imagine your strongest competition would be the local town market in itself, right? People would love to walk into the market and buy fresh stuff, judge the quality for themselves. Is that a concern? And how are you going about enhancing your product?
At the moment, like Italy, it's a chain that's really famous. It's a physical market, which is one of the possible competitor for us. But we are mainly concentrated. We want to go only online. The idea is to bring some physical, some in the logistics, some point of delivery, also to maintain the contact with the really small markets. That could be something that we can help them to maintain their market in a world in which the small markets are disappearing. And this is why we are also trying to put in the marketplace the opportunity to buy locally using the direct delivery from the seller. And then in these cases, you cannot sell the product, but for example, when the product have a really short life, you can buy only locally in your area. And this is one of the use cases that we have in our platform.
Sure. Thank you very much, Daniel.
Are there any more questions? Right. So thank you so much, Danilo, for your pitch. And now over to our third participant, Progress Lab. Luca, over to you.
Thank you, Caterina. We are Progress Lab, and our aim is to bring the future of manufacturing to many manufacturers, especially the small and medium ones. I want to talk a bit about the problem that manufacturers face. They need to know where they're at with the production. They need to track costs and quality, train personnel, and they need to ensure quality, auditability, and compliance. And companies usually have ERPs, but these are often not enough for these purposes. There are software applications that do this, and they are called manufacturing execution systems, but they tend to be not very effective, especially for smaller manufacturers. They have lower budgets, and they tend to provide control, but also more rigidity, rather than empower their flexibility and the typical customer attention and tailoring that smaller manufacturers provide to their clients. And they tend to be very costly and kind of ugly to use also. They're kind of stuck in the 90s. So that's the solution that we're providing is a platform that is human first and not just focused on monitoring machines, that it's affordable and that it's easy to deploy, use, and extend. And I want to focus on what is our overall mission and the link to the SDG goals, which is to promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization by lowering the barriers to adoption of advanced manufacturing management solutions. Many companies struggle, they want to digitize themselves, but they struggle because they're complex products, they're costly, and that's what we want to break through. There is a huge market opportunity. By 2025, the MES market is estimated to grow to 15 billion euros worldwide. We can go into the details of the calculations here later in the Q&A, but there's a very big market opportunity. As a value proposition to the customer, we want to provide lower and transparent total cost of ownership, and by cutting that in half. And I'm serious about it. And also help the implementation by improving the adoption through outstanding support and friendly UI. So making it easy to implement as well. As per the business model, we have the classical annual support fees, kind of a subscription model. We have, of course, the classical consulting and custom development projects. But one very interesting thing that we want to introduce is to monetize the data that we gather from our customers, and to provide value to research entities, institutions, universities, and consultancies. Having like real data from manufacturers, that will help a lot. Thank you very much. This is just this is us. We can go more into the details during the Q&A.
Thank you so much, Luca, and over to our judges now.
Emmanuel, okay. Let me go first. Luca, thank you for that. Just one question. You did show us one UN SDG which talks about sustainable automation, and your solution is a lot about automation. I'm wondering, where does the sustainability bit come in? How are you making industrial automation more sustainable?
Yes, we do focus on automation, but it's not just the automation, but it's also to provide a comprehensive digital twin for human-powered activities too. So that's where sustainable to me comes from. It's making it grow together with the people that are handling it. A lot of smaller companies do not have a lot of automation. A lot of smaller manufacturers have a lot of people doing the work. And our platform aims to help them grow without having to break the bank. That's where we focus on.
Ciao, Luca. I have a question also for you. This is Stefano. Nice to meet you. I mean, regarding, automation using also data into the value chain in different sector. When we talk about small manufacturers, especially in Europe, so if we take like textile, I'm working mainly in fashion luxury, so I know quite well the textile. Also, big company like that also have 100 million a year turnover, that in Italy is not that small. Is in production manufacturers. They have big lack of data, so they have also the processes, also the automation, but they take a lot of time to gather how actually they can gather in this data. So before to analyze those data, they have big problems on understanding how they could actually collect. I'm not talking also about leading company manufacturing in textile. I mean, the biggest one.
Yeah.
So I wonder how actually this problem could be actually translated into different other value chain of smaller manufacturers. How you can support them to realize and collect those data in which you need to actually start doing the analysis.
The IoT part is a whole domain in itself. And so the connecting machines and gathering data from the machines, it's a very complex thing. And so we decided to partner with another startup. It's called Zerint, and they're growing a lot, and they focus just on that. They've provided a platform to gather data from all kinds of machines, and it's a scriptable platform, very flexible, integratable, and so we decided to partner with someone that is focused on that.
Good point. And this actually, Industry 4.0 could be actually quite impactful. What's the name of this company?
Zerint. Zerint con la Y alla fine, the H at the end.
Amazing. Thank you. Good point. Thank you.
Look, wanting to identify potential competitors for your solution, what name you would share with us?
There are 4 categories of competitors, like the big names, big household names. We're talking about SAP, Dassault Systems. They make like the big, huge MESs, and that's one category. We have like I call them the new stars, which are online MES, like Lighthouse, or anyway, they tend to be more modern. Lighthouse Systems, Critical Manufacturing, Plex, and then you have more local players and custom-made MES. So these are the 4 categories, and we have mapped all these categories and know exactly how to compete with each one of these. We don't have much details, but like we have features that were to address specifically each one of these competitors.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Luca, for your presentation, and thank you for the questions to our judges. Now, over to our 4th participant, Alia Insect Farms. Carlotta, over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. Sorry, I'm trying to.
Definitely take your time.
Doesn't share. It doesn't share the screen, Katrina. It tells me that.
Yeah, what does it?
Share.
The screen sharing is enabled, however. Right, so perhaps we could shift our order a tiny little bit. Would Team ID Factory be fine presenting right now?
Yes, thank you. We'll try to fix again.
Yeah, while Carlotta fixes the issue. Would that be possible?
Yes, yes, of course. I can
Thank
go.
you so much. Thank you so much, Martina. So now over to you, and requesting the jury members then to start rating ID Factory first and then Ali and Zect Farms further on. So
I can start sharing my screen.
Yes. Perfect. If you're ready, your time begins now.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Martina, and I'm in charge of sustainability at ID Factory. We are a B Corp certified company and a benefit corporation. We are a team of 15 people with different backgrounds from IT, marketing, operations, and much more. And we all share a common vision, which is to make the fashion industry more transparent and traceable as possible. Let's start from the reason why we're here today. So this is the make it or break it year. Big things have to happen to make the 1.5 dream alive. Countries need to commit to the next step. We need to accelerate. We need to act right now to save millions of lives. But what is happening today is that very few people know that the fashion industry is the second largest polluter in the world, just after the oil industry. The fashion supply chain has a huge environmental problem. Just to say that 25% is made of pre-consumer waste during production, which ends up in landfill, while 20% of industrial water pollution come from textile dyeing and treatment. So what are we doing? We are a supply chain traceability platform, and we are tracking and giving visibility to a brand over their entire supply chain. Tracking waste is essential in order to reuse it, recycle it, and close the loop. But we are also digitalizing the quality control process in order to ensure that chemical and physical compliance tests are carried on in order to prevent also water pollution. But what about the social problem? 60% of government workers are not even paid living wage today, and 27% of the top apparel brands only disclose approach to achieving living wages for supply chain workers. Today, brands have really low visibility over their operations. So we are mapping their entire supply chain end to end so that they can also assess potential social and environmental risks throughout their operations. And how are we doing that? We're using technology. Thanks to the QR code technology for tracing all materials to the final product, we can also allow brands to share the supply chain story with the final customer. But why the ID Factory? We are scalable. We're integrated with any management system, also in the poorest country. We are efficient because we are making sustainability economically viable. And lastly, but most importantly, we're democratic because we are sharing the adoption fees and the cost with all supply chain players. So it's less expensive. We are today working in more than 22 countries, and that's our impact. We have digitalized the supply chain of over 15 brands, and there are today more than 600 actors that are using the ID Factory platform daily. So join our journey and unlock the chain together to make this possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martina. So over to our judges for the questions.
Okay, Martina, quickly, Stefano, I know you'd love to jump in. Just one question that I want to ask her. Can you give us any success stories of using your solution so far? Whether a company has, let's say, risen by X% or X number of ranks in something like the Fashion Transparency Index or something else, what has happened because a customer has used your solution?
Sorry, I didn't understand. You're asking us if we have any case available of customers that is asking the solution.
Yeah, what was the result of a potential of a customer using your solution? How did it have an impact?
We are, first of all, a B2B solution. So we are supporting the brands to make their supply chain operations, the production process more efficient. So our first objective is to make a cost-efficient production process. But doing that, providing the data that can be used also for sustainability purposes. And all these data can be also used in a B2B2C solution, because the brand, and we have a brand actually today, premium brand, who's actually willing to use all this data to share the supply chain story with their customer.
Thank you.
Hope I answered.
All right, any other questions?
Yes. I know, of course, quite well the D-Factory. They are part of our cohort in Global Fashion Tech. So, hi, Martina.
Hi.
Recently, we had some, I was writing an article on this topic, but recently during the Rome G20, we also have an announcement. So Prince, His Royalty, Prince Charles actually is supporting with Federico Marchetti, former YOUX president, a company that is called eOwn, from Natasha, that is actually working on the D-Factory for multiple fashion brands. So more than a question is actually, what would be your strategy to fill quickly the gap compared to other scale-up that are taking the leap in this sector, and how you want to actually make this actually achievable fast?
I would say we are not direct competitor, but comparables, because we are digitalizing the supply chain process and we are taking the data from the supply chain. And I can personally say, as I worked with the Aeon, that they are taking the data for their digital ID and they are focusing on the after purchase phase. So for empowering circular economy and second-hand market, but they take the data from another platform. There's a lot of data entry activity that needs to be performed, while the D-Factory is totally automated. So let's say that there are the people, the workers in the factories in Asia that are scanning this QR code and providing the data automatically to the brand. So it's also cost efficient for the IT department.
Clear.
Right, any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question for you, Martina. You said before that your solution is margin neutral, so no impact on the price. You already verified this impact on the final prices?
Yes, we already verified it, because we are defining a fee with the brand based on the specific quantities of material flow that is traced by the system itself and the cost of the material itself. In that way, the price, let's say, is margin neutral, because at the end is spread and it does not affect the final price for the customer. And that's extremely important for having a democratic adoption and let's say, make it easier, the adoption, and more scalable.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Martina. Thank you so much to our jury members. And now, last but not least, over to Alia Insect Farms, Carlotta. So requesting one of our team members to start sharing the presentation for Carlotta so that she can begin.
Yes, thank you very much for that. And I apologize for it.
No
but
worries, no worries.
Working
That's totally
today.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so please, let's
just
show the presentation. So my name is Carlotta, and today I will pitch for a food innovation intended for healthy people on a healthier planet. Next, please. I'm the founder of Alia Insect Farm. I'm a food technologist, passionate about food science, and committed to contribute with a concrete solution for a better world. We are talking about a food revolution, but let's see why. Next, please. It's because it making together a team of people with diverse background that are passionate about doing something better in the food sustainable systems. Our company was constituted in 2020, and in less than 1 year, thanks to the diverse background and competencies, we actually developed our own process for a unique 100% made in Italy superfine powder made from edible insects. We are now working on a novel food dossier for having the authorization to market this product within Europe. Next, please. Our co-founder is a lawyer, Marco Carone, and our team is, as I said, very diverse and very rich, even if there are not any employees yet in the company, since we work only with external people that are from architecture, web designer, agronomist, food technology, and regulatory experts, of course, because of the particularity of the business. Next one. The mission, the vision, and the purpose. Always important to make a good framework of what we are and where we want to go. We want to deliver a continuous innovation in food products and services, and our vision is to be the best insect farm in Italy, producing the safest and the tastiest novel food from edible crickets, 100% made in Italy. Last but not least, the purpose. We want to contribute to make sustainable changes to positively impact people, planet, and new generation future prosperity. Next one. The problem, just few words. We all know, are aware that the world is getting warmer and the food demand is increasingly asking for big, and it will be affected by scarcity of resources. Next one. So people, what do they need in their life? Proteins, trustable and short-chain food products, sustainable foods, and quality and safety. Next one. The solution, edible insects can be a good solution because they are tasty, they are nutrition, they are safe, and more or less they are sustainable. I will end here my presentation, hoping to have introduced you all the main key factors of this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Carlotta. And now over to the questions from our jury members.
Okay. Many thanks, Carlotta. I have a question for you about the market potential. Did you estimate the percentage of the Italian population that could buy your products?
Yeah, potentially this product is suitable for everyone apart from people that are allergic to crustaceans. This is the only safety and healthy restriction that we have at the moment. But for other categories, there are actually no limits. What I'm saying is that it's very suitable for sporty people, it's very suitable for elderly people, and for all the flexitarians or people that want to replace proteins from meat with another source of alternative proteins. Of course, vegans can be a little bit risky, even though in the US, a new type of group called ento-vegan is coming up, which means people that decide to eat insects, even though they are animals, because they are treated in a different way during when they are processed rather than any other farmed animal, because they are a welfare especially thought for them. So it's they are close to eat this new type of meat.
It's clear the fact that apart from the allergic people, there are no big issues, but I think there are set of barriers, a set of obstacles that you should manage in order to spread the product. I think about our food habits, our cultural limits, and so on. What way do you think to manage this kind of issues?
That's correct. That's a big issue. The neophobia is one of the big barriers that we have already identified, but we carry out some researches and tests. We are actually also studying with an academia now in Italy to solve this problem. We are aware that neophobia will be lasting for a few years, but we also are very convinced that the cultural aspect and the way we present the product will make the difference. What I'm saying is that our core product, for example, we are not focusing on insect as such, but as is insect in form of superfine powder that allows consumers not to see at all the insects, but just to taste and experience it in a form of a very comfortable and used type of food, like, for example, pasta made with crickets, or bars, sporty bars, or snacks, whatever, where the insects can be not recognizable, but the benefits, effects of it inside are part of the recipe. So sustainability, nutrition values, and tastiness, without having the possibility to recognize the insect inside the food.
Right. Any further questions?
Can I sneak in one question? Carlotta, thank you very much, firstly, for introducing me to the concept of 100% Italian crickets. I haven't heard that so far. Okay, thank you very much for that. Quick question. As you are very well aware, there's a lot of competition globally in the same space, right? There's a lot of startups working in the same space. How do you think you stand up to them? Do you have enough intellectual property to protect yourself in the global market in case you have to venture out of Italy and work in the European market itself?
Yeah, thank you for the question. No, we have not an IP behind it, even though we develop our very own personal process to make the superfine powder. So we atomize the crickets, and that's something that in Europe has not been done yet. Only another company is doing that, something similar in Canada, but not in Europe. That's a very costly and complicated process, if you like. So we spend more than 1.5 years to fix it out. So our competitiveness stays there in the way we will farm our crickets in the short chain, so that we will farm and then process in a very short chain, which means in less than 2 hours, the live crickets into a fine powder. And 100% made in Italy product, which means guarantee of origin of short chain and blockchain, if you like, in terms of what we give as feed to our crickets and the way we process them. So these are the main aspects of our competitiveness value, we think. So we are investing on this short chain, very tough and very sensitive part of the project.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And with that, these are all the pitches for today. And now we will proceed to the jury deliberation part of it. So requesting our team members to invite our jury members to a separate breakout room once again, so that the jury could decide upon the winners of today's competition. Just once again to remind you that there will be 2 winners of today's competition that will be proceeding to the Confederation finals, the Europe Confederation finals, to represent Italy at an international stage right now. So now requesting the team member to inform us once that is ready.
Just give me a second.
Yes, perfect.
I'm going to be requesting the jury members to, I'm going to be assigning all the jury members to head to the room. All right. The room is created.
In the meantime, we would request our startups to be a little bit more patient. You will learn about the results very soon. In the meantime, we will show a couple videos that will introduce the concept of the entrepreneurship sports generation to you a bit better. And we'll also get you acquainted with the concept of the world to-do list, because the entrepreneurship sports generation is actually a global accelerator of the world to-do list, which is one of the biggest, we would say, initiatives to endorse the UN SDGs. So perhaps that could be something that you would be interested in. We request.
Just give me a second. I think there is a glitch. Just one second.
In the meantime, we could proceed to showing the first video.
It's got everything you expect from big sport, passion, fierce competition, fans, cities pitted against cities, countries competing against countries, loyalties and support. We would request the jury members to join the room that you have been invited to. Thank you so much. Marissa and Stefano are also very welcome to join alongside one of our team members as well. And now over to the concept of the world to-do list. As we have mentioned, the ESG is a global accelerator for this initiative.
Hello, everyone. Can I ask if you maybe already, I cannot hear you, but...
yes, Carlotta.
Oh, thank you, Anahita. Sorry about that.
I was just replying to you. I was just replying to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Right, so now that we have our judges back from the main room, from this breakout room, excuse me, we are moving closer to announcing the winners of today's competition. These two winners will be proceeding, as mentioned, to the Confederation Finals and will be representing Italy among the other entrepreneurs from other European countries. So the winners of today's competition will receive information about the further steps separately. We'll definitely let you know, no worries. And just, while we're setting up our announcement slides and while we're getting ready for this, important moment, let me thank you all on behalf of the ESG team for your time today. And those of you who have not made it, who will not be able to proceed to the confederations this year, we'd love to see you next year. And you are already a winner of your own kind. And you are already solving a great and wonderful, you're solving a very, very important issue in a very wonderful manner. And we wish you all the very, very best. And, once you are in the ecosystem of the entrepreneurship sports generation, do be sure that you'll be informed about all the latest updates and all kind of the latest support potential initiatives. So we would now request the team members to proceed to sharing the presentation, if that's ready. And also would like to, so moving closer to the announcement of the winners. So the first startup of the two that will be proceeding to the next round will be, and moving to the next slide, ID Factory. Congratulations. Apologies for just having the name of the company instead of the logo, but congratulations, Martina. Thank you so much for the wonderful pitch. And second, the second representative for the Confederation Finals will be Alia Insect Farm. Carlotta, thank you so much for making it today for the competition, and we would warmly like to congratulate you. And with that, we would once again want to thank everyone, each one of you, for the amazing pitches today. And perhaps Marissa, Stefano, would you like to say a couple parting words?
So let me talk in English just for 1 second to say thank you to our wonderful jury and to the wonderful ESG team. And now let me turn into Italian. Congratulazioni ai vincitori, bravissimi, non sapevo bene che devo fare, bravissimi tutti quanti. Sono andata dentro a spiare nella stanza della giuria e vi garantisco che c'erano poche differenze, per cui è veramente stata interessante, bellissimo vedere che avete presentato delle idee per me assolutamente nuove. Quindi per chi non ce l'ha fatta sappiate che forse questo dà più fastidio, è stato per pochissimo, quindi forza per l'anno prossimo, non perdete l'entusiasmo e congratulazioni ancora ai vincitori che ci racconteranno cosa succede adesso. Tifo per loro per la prossima gara che a livello europeo, mantenete alta per piacere la bandiera italiana, questo era il primo step. Facciamola anche alla finale, quindi a livello globale, ok? Noi intanto, anche quelli che oggi non ce l'hanno fatta, arriveremo poi a fare ancora meglio l'anno prossimo. Grazie infinite.
Non sto da dire più di tanto, inizio in italiano e chiudo in inglese, faccio il contrario di quello che ha fatto Marisa, per cui sono anch'io convinto che tutte le idee che sono state presentate oggi erano molto belle e come dicevamo negli ultimi giorni quando ci siamo sentiti per l'allineamento, sicuramente ci sarà qualcosa da imparare, da scoprire, così è stato. Quindi grazie per i vostri pitch, per soprattutto portare avanti delle idee che possono dare un contributo, uso una parola un po' grossa ma ci credo davvero, a creare un mondo migliore. So thank you very much all the best to those who are moving forward, all the best to the others for your contributions. Thank you very much. Stay in touch, stay in the loop, because as Katrina was saying, you will be updated in terms of new opportunities and additional activities that might come up within the ESG context. So thank you very much for attending and all the best.
Thank you so much once again. And with that, we would like to conclude our session today and wish everyone all the best and lots of luck in your future endeavors. And once again, thank you so much to our jury members. So all the best to everyone. And
thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Anahita.
Thank you so much.